How y'all doing today? I decided not to say, hey, everybody. Oh, well, now. We've had an interesting day so far. We have a dog that got skunked last night. Don't you just love it when that happens? At 4:44 this morning, the big dog came into our bedroom, and the smell hit me. And it was such a harsh smell, I thought there were wires burning somewhere. So I got kind of sat straight up in bed, and I was getting ready to, elbow Robert when I realized that it was the dog. Ugh. Now, I am truly a blessed person because when he came to the door at noon, he goes in and out all the time. That's Robert's job in the middle of the night, is to let the dogs in and out. When he came to the door at noon, I went out there with a brush and with some deodorizer for him, and he didn't smell bad. We are truly a blessed couple because the dog didn't stink, and I'm happy I didn't have to wash him with Dawn dishwashing liquid and peroxide and baking soda. It would have been, he has so much hair. So I'm excited that we have a dog that's not necessarily spotless, but he's not stinking, and he's in the house, and my house doesn't stink. So we're all good here. Now, Patty had a great idea, and she has worked hard at helping me this week. But I have a bunch of questions right here. Since I'm not good at looking at what y'all are saying in the chat going on, I have some questions, and I have a little jar, but my printer didn't work, so I got printer ink all over my hands. See, printer ink everywhere. I finally got it to working at like 5 till 2, and I did get them printed out and cut up. So they may not be folded, but I haven't read them. And Robert and Patty pulled them from last week's questions, I believe. So everybody, hi Wichita, Elizabeth in Wichita. I'm thinking about the country music artist Glenn Campbell that passed away. He had a song named Wichita Lineman, and we need to say prayers for his family. He was a great country music artist and a guitarist, and keep him in your prayer. Keep the family in your prayers. Anyway, I got questions. And if you want to ask a question live, it's hard for me to get to you, but I will see it sometimes. Yep, I got new glasses, but they're really old glasses. My other ones got scratched up, so I need to pull out the backup pair. Now, everybody, if you want to ask a question live, what you need to do is turn your phone this way. Got it? And then I'll see that you have a little green thing by your name as you're doing a chat. And if you have a question, then you can ask it live if I can see you. And you may have to say 2-3 times that you have a question or mention your question. And I will get attention. People will tell me, and I'll scroll back through. I miss not having music on our shows. Okay, so let's see. I have a question. Let's see. It's Joy, and her question is, how do you recommend helping homeschool kids learn our routines and working them into our school day? That's just real simple. You got to get your morning routine done before school starts and have a start time for your school. FlyLady Tammy helps with our homeschooling people, and she is amazing. She has been homeschooling. She's homeschooled 6 children, and 2 are grown. three are grown. I forget that Jacob just graduated in May, and then or April, and then the three youngest are started back to school last week. So you got to get things done. So their goal is to work hard on their schoolwork from 9 until noon, and then they take a break for lunch and they do some more of their routines, and we'll get Tammy on here sometime and have her, we'll do a whole homeschooling Facebook Live. But each child needs a control journal, and we have a control journal that's for homeschooling children, and we have one for children that go to public school. And they all need to get their morning routine done when they're before school starts, and be dressed to lace up shoes. That's the most important thing. Be ready for the day, because if you as Tammy says in her little speeches when we go to conferences, we don't have pajama day at our school. We never have pajama day. We don't teach in our jammies. It's just not going to happen. So you've got to get the kids involved. So Joy, I hope that answers your question. If you want to be in Tammy's FlyLady stuff, you can click on our emails coming in at the bottom of the email, and you can click on, what is it called? Update your subscription, and you'll see the homeschooling thing there. So that'll help you. Now, I'm going to fold this one up. Probably need to put a check mark on it that I have asked the question. See, look at me. I'm good here. Staying organized. Got a system. So I'm going to pick another one. We got people from all over the world. Germany. Okay, this is from D. And D says, how do you keep the dust down in your house? Ever had your ductwork cleaned? Any tips? Yes, I have had our ductwork cleaned a couple of times. About every 10 years it happens. After we remodeled, I had it all cleaned because all the dust and stuff. I waited about a month before we had it done, and then the dust had all kind of settled, and then I had it cleaned. I think Dust Masters did it, and they did a good job of it. But then they kept calling and kept calling and kept calling and driving me nuts. So, what's ductwork? Okay, ductwork is the vents in your house that push forced air through it for heating and cooling. And how do I keep dust down in the house? Well, you can't keep dust down. We keep our doors open. We have lots of critters, and they have dust, and we've got muddy yards most of the time, but right now we hadn't had rain in a couple of days, and there's some dust underneath Robert's tree house, and the big dog likes to roll in that dust, and he comes in, and he's just like Pigpen from Peanuts, and he's just this little, and you got this gray dust that settles everywhere, and it is what it is. But with a feather duster, you can run around the house. And we got this new little duster. It's a cute little thing. Run around the house, get your steps in, and dust little flat surfaces. Now, if your flat surfaces are clear, they're much easier to dust. That's got to tackle those hot spots. And then every day, for 2 minutes, you run around the house and do that. And you'll be so surprised at how your house never has that dust me look. You know what I'm talking about? When the dust gets so thick you can write dust me in it. I may have to write an essay about that. But we can keep the dust from collecting. You know, it doesn't get under things. Our parents ruined us when it came to dusting. They wanted us to take everything off the tables, wipe it down with pledge, put everything back, and we never did get it right where it was supposed to go because we took away the spots because dust doesn't get under stuff. And we had to do it for 4 hours. When you do 2 minutes every day, you don't ever have to see dirt again. It's just that easy. I promise it is. I got big dogs. One day I'll run around the house and dust and show you how it works. Here's another question. I'm going to pull it out. They're all right here. See them? I'm happy because it's hard for me to read and talk at the same time. But if I read the question to you, and it's a surprise to me because I haven't seen them yet, because I didn't look at the comments last week. This is from Jeannie, and she says, could you quickly go through how to begin and share a link again for those who can get started at the beginning? Then each step we need to take forward. Okay, this is our perfectionism. You don't have to jump in at the beginning. We just have to jump in where we are. And there's 3 little rules. Go shine your sink. Yes, go shine your sink. A lot of you haven't done it yet. And you know who you are. Go shine your sink. Get dressed to lace up shoes. All the way to shoes. Now, it's summertime and I hate hot feet. And I have hot feet. So I like to wear sandals in the summertime. But these things strap to my feet and I can't take them off without bending over. So that reminds me, I don't want to take my shoes off. And then the third thing we do every day is declutter. Declutter something. Is it spend 5 minutes in the morning getting rid of some clutter, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening? Those 3 things get you started. And if you want a book to help you get integrated into our email system, the email system is the most important part of all of this. People they fuss about it, but I'm telling you, it changes your life. Because I get in your head. Just that easy. It's called fly washing. Somebody else called it that. But I get in your head, and when I can change the way you think about things. People used to say, well, I've fallen off the bandwagon. There is no bandwagon. Finally, I gave in and said, okay, let's go back to basics. The basics are get up and get dressed to lace up shoes. Lay your clothes out the night before. And in the 31 baby step book that's on our website, somebody give a link. In that 31 baby step book, we walk you through all the parts of the system. But the main thing you have to remember is shine your sink, get dressed to lace up shoes every day, and declutter every day. That's it. If you do those 3 things, your house is going to start looking good. You're going to start feeling good about everything that's going on because you're going to be taking baby steps instead of feeling bad that you've joined and we're on August. August month is keeping up with our laundry. Well, you can do some laundry. You're doing laundry. You're just not doing a load every day. You're waiting till it piles up and then you feel bad about it. So just take those first baby steps of, here, I'm going to preach it again. Shine your sink. Get dressed to lace up shoes every day. See, I got ink on me. And declutter every day. Those 3 things are going to change your life. Okay, that question is done. Check it off. Don't you love to check things off? In our student control journal, homeschooling and regular student control journal, the kids love to check things off. It's me telling them what to do instead of you telling them what to do. So go to our control journal section on our website and you'll see it. Download it. It's free. Okay, I'm going to draw another one. We have a commercial on TV here in our local area, and it says, Mattress Max will save you money. Well, I'm going to help get your home chaos-free. Here we go. I'm grabbing another one. This is from Diane. I've been flying for years off and on. How do you get someone to do something to start listen, I got to read this again. I have been flying for years off and on. How do you get someone to do something to start just removing it or to start? I don't quite get the question, but you can't make anybody else do anything. You can give rewards. You can, quit. This is our martyrdom working. We think the clutter comes from everybody else. I read a testimonial a while ago from a lady whose children had all grown. Her husband had passed away. It was just her in the house. And she thought when she retired from school teaching that keeping house was going to be so easy. Well, she was the messiest person there was. And she admitted it because she doesn't pick up after herself. So when you get the house in order, you're going to have a little... before you get the house in order, you're going to realize that you're the problem. And if we can just take care of our little part of the world, then your house is going to start staying. People are going to notice in your family. They're going to notice, and you're going to love it. Okay, I'm going to fold this one up. Check it off. Poof. And that's 4 questions we've answered. We're on a roll here. Okay, now here we go. Thanks, Laura, for helping. FlyLady Laura's working hard putting those links up. Okay. Got another question. This is from Naomi. I struggle to spot clean my carpet. I can't get on my knees, and if I sit on the floor, I can't get back up. Any suggestions? Yeah, I have a suggestion. It's called a Little Bitty Black & Decker vacuum cleaner. Now, I used a new thing this past week that we're getting ready to have our floors refinished. So I want to get some deep down in the groove dirt because we have hardwood floors. And I bought this Bissell, I don't know what it's called, but it's a little... it puts liquid down and sucks it back up, and it did a really good job this weekend. I almost killed myself in the process, but it was wonderful. Now, if you've got a spot and it's just one spot, we got feet. And this is what I like, because I have the same problem. I can get in the bathtub, but I have to turn over upside down and to get to my knees to get up, and most people can do that if they can't get up from a seated position on the floor. The main thing you got to remember is turn over and get on all fours and then push yourself up. But if you've got a rubber swisher that's not been used in the toilet, just a clean one, then you can spray some of that foam stuff that's for carpets and scrub it with a rubber swisher from a standing position practically. Your rubber sweeper will do the same thing. And then all you got to do is vacuum it up once it dries. So that's a great way to handle spots on your floor. You can do a lot of things from a standing and a seated position. I mean, I did detailed cleaning in my living room this past weekend because I wanted to get behind all the furniture, and then I got a Gunky dog. Okay. Ready for another one? I like this, Patty. This is a good idea. I got lots of questions, and I'm just going to pull one. This is from Sarah. My granddaughter's name is Sarah. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. They're on a mission trip to Peru. Next time I want to go with them. That sounds like so much fun. They're working in an orphanage. My son is helping them build some rooms, and the kids are working with the little children at my feeding the babies, and I got pictures of Sarah feeding the baby, so it's just wonderful. They're way up high in the Andes. Okay, so Sarah says, I struggle with keeping our toilets clean in the inside of the bowl. I don't know what's the best product to keep the ring off the toilet. Well, I understand that because I have hard water, and the reason you have a ring around the toilet is because the hard water evaporates and leaves a little calcium deposit there. Now, this is just a light calcium deposit, but I like to take, if you haven't been swishing and swiping your toilet every day, or you've gone away for a trip, that shows up because of the evaporation rate in our homes. So I like to take Comet. It's a cleanser. You can use Barkeeper's Friend. You can use a lot of things. And I get one of those Scotch-Brite pads, and you can scrub that. Now, if it's a little bit heavier than that, you can take the edge of a butter knife and chip it up. But using the Scotch-Brite will take it right off. Now, swishing and swiping every day, I have to tell y'all something. I ran out of bubble baths. Old bubble baths, old body washes that I don't like, and I got to figure out what to use in my Rub-A-Swisher container. I got me a new one. It's got a fish on it. I can't wait to show it to you. But I've run out of stuff. So I think I'm going to use 1 part Dawn dishwashing liquid and 1 part water in this container. Hey, it's easy on your hands. Not that you're going to put your hands down in it. But soap is soap. And having soap is going to clean that toilet. And swishing it every day keeps that little ring from happening. And nothing says I love you like a clean toilet when you've got a stomach bug. It really does. You know that it's clean, and it blesses your family. Okay, let's see. I got so many questions here. I probably never answered this many questions in 1 hour because I'm always searching. But I got them in my hot little hand. FlyLady can get rid of the chaos. Picking one. Okay, this one looks a little longer. This is from Holly. And Holly says, I used to keep an awesome house, but I am unable to now due to an injury and depression. Depression is an understatement. I've lost most desire for everything because my house is a mess. My sink shines. It didn't make the rest of my house clean. Is there any hope for me? Yes, Holly, there is. I've been where you are, where you're just zombified in a chair all day and you can't function and your house is a mess, and when you don't function, your house gets messier, and when the house gets messier, you function less. So it's a vicious downward spiral. Now, we can stop this. We can stop this right now. You need to go see your doctor and get your vitamin D levels checked. Get your iron levels checked. Get things checked that can be contributing to your lack of energy and caring about anything. I want you to care about yourself, and the first thing you got to do is get out of the house and go to the doctor. I had this great new doctor. This week I had a fainting spell. Out of the blue, I saw sparkles. Come to find out, my blood sugar probably bottomed out. And, I'm used to eating a lot of carbs and not having a problem with my blood sugar bottoming out, but this week it did. And now I'm trying to eat a little bit in the morning, a little bit at noon, and a good dinner, and lots of salads and veggies, and I'm taking care of myself. I want you to take care of yourself. I've been depressed. It's not fun. There's something on my screen on my phone, and it looks like I got something right here, but I don't. So you've got to take care of yourself. And, your sink is shining. If you can keep the dishes done, that's going to be a step in the right direction. Now, the first thing I want you to do, besides going to the doctor, is get dressed to lace up shoes. You may not feel like it, but go to the bathroom and wash your hair and take a shower and fix your face. And I want you to put on some clothes you feel good in. This is what I did when I was dressed. I've been depressed twice in my life. And it's not fun. It is not fun. I had a friend who coaxed me into going with her to Memphis, Tennessee, 2 hours from where we lived, back when I was first depressed. And she said, I need to go to the doctor, but I don't want to go to Memphis by myself. Well, you want to ride? And I said, okay. And I hopped in the car and went with her. Come to find out, she'd made the appointment for me. And it was a good thing that I went, because I realized that I needed some more help. The control freak that I am said I can do this by myself, but I wasn't. I needed some in-treatment stuff, and it was such a blessing for me. That's where I learned to get dressed, to lace up shoes. Well, the lace up shoes came from Mary Kay, but not the lace up shoes, but getting dressed as shoes. And then I put the lace up part on it because we're Southern girls and we go barefoot all the time, and we kick our shoes off and we don't know where they are in the house. We got piles of shoes everywhere. So you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to be kind to yourself. Yes, the house is a mess, but guess what? It didn't get that way overnight. And you're not going to get well overnight either, but you're going to get a little better, because you're going to start getting dressed, and you're going to feel better about the way you look. You're going to feel better about the way you feel in your clothes. You're going to feel better because you've got the dishes done. Make a list of the things that you can celebrate. Look at, what's the song? There's an essay coming out tomorrow about the silver lining. Look for the silver lining in things. We got the Union label and look for the silver lining. It's both the same tune. But you look for the silver lining. There's always something good. Yeah, my dog got skunked last night, but guess what? He came in the door this morning and he didn't stink as bad as he did in the middle of the night. That is something to be thankful for. Write down your blessings. It's going to change the way you think. And we've got to reverse the negativity. Quit listening to those voices that are telling you those bad things. Write those bad things down on a piece of paper, put them in a little bowl, take them outside and burn them, and be done with it. Because you deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel good in your home. You deserve to feel good in your skin. So let's take care of ourselves. Go get dressed. If you haven't had a shower yet, then go do it. And get yourself fixed up like you're going someplace. and then go make that appointment to go see your doctor and get some blood work done. There's help out there. And it's okay to ask for it. I mean, I left saying I can't stay at that hospital. I couldn't go, I left them and then drove 2 hours back home. And I got home and my husband, my son's father at the time, said, well, if you check yourself in the loony bin, don't bother coming home. Well, duh. It made me so mad that he didn't give a flip about me. I'm trying not to say ugly words, just so you know. He didn't care about me. He only cared about what people thought. And here I was dying inside. So I packed my little bags and I went back for 10 days. And I was a little different person when I got out. And it changed me because I listened. I had hit my bottom and it was ready for me to start back up that ladder. And now I am flying high. I love where I am right now. So call your doctor, get dressed to lace up shoes, get that shower. If you hadn't had a shower in a week, go take it and take care of yourself. Okay, that one's done. We touch on that one a lot. Next question, we're letting Holy Spirit here help us find the question that somebody needs today. I got one. This is from Loretta. She says, a family of 7 living in an apartment. Biggest advice for keeping things tidy. Maintaining is the goal. Need help. Okay, Loretta. 7 in an apartment. That's tough. That's tough. But if you got too many clothes and too many toys, they're going to take over. So I would start weeding through the clothes because we're doing laundry. We're doing a load of laundry a day. I don't know if you're in an apartment, you might not have a washer and dryer in your laundry in your apartment. So you might have to go downstairs. Figure out a time of day that you can do laundry when nobody's down there, and take the kids and go down there and do laundry. Do a lot of laundry and get the laundry done. And don't put away stuff that doesn't fit, that's soiled and can't be cleaned. Get that stuff out of the house. Don't donate the bad stuff, but trash and clean out a drawer for each person in your house, and let's start weeding through the clothes and weeding through the toys. And let's get the toys out of the house that don't have a home and that they don't play with or they've outgrown. And your apartment is going to be much better. It really will, just with those 2 things. But you got to get dressed to lace up shoes. You got to start with shining your sink. And you got to do that decluttering. That decluttering is what's going to open up that apartment for you. It really is. Okay. I am folding it up and checking it off. We love to check off things. Check. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. Wow, we're on a roll. We're going to keep rolling. Rolling. That tells you my age. Rawhide. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Got one. This is from Lisa. Do you have a good plan for women who work outside of the home? I leave at 7 a.m. and I don't get home until 7 a.m. Well, I do have a good plan. And that plan is do your weekly home blessing 1 item a day. There's 7 items and there's 7 items. Do 1 a day. and get up and get dressed to lace up shoes. But the night before, since you got to be out of the house at 7 a.m., you got to pick your clothes out the night before so you're ready to go. And you, the first thing you do in the morning is you get up and you get dressed to shoes. Now, if you need to wear dress shoes at work, then you have them at your launch pad. That launch pad is really essential when you are working outside the home. That launch pad gets everything with you so that you're not having to turn around and lose time, get caught in traffic. You know how it goes. It's always something. Factor in enough time to get to work with a little grace period. And I wished everybody thought about their day as having to be out of the house at a certain time. Like with Tammy and the boys, they start school at 9 a.m. That is the time for them to start school. Tammy goes and does her running early in the morning. She comes back and she gets dressed for her day. This is going to work. So when you get home at 7 o'clock at night, hopefully you've put something in the crock pot the day before. I mean, the morning of. That way it's cooked. And you're not having to spend a lot of time in the kitchen so that you can get things done. And if you have children at home, you got to spend some time with them. But everybody needs to pick out their clothes the night before and lay them out. Either have a hook on the bedroom door or have a tomorrow drawer. One little kid named it his tomorrow drawer. So he puts the clothes in his tomorrow drawer. When he takes them off, they go in the hamper for the laundry. And he sorts them as he takes them off. So, yes, women who work outside the home, this is important. I wished all of my fly babies acted as if they worked outside the home. Just like if you need to declutter, pretend like you're going to move. And that thought process of pretending like you're moving, you won't move anything you don't love, don't use, or don't have a place for. There you go. Here we go. Another one done. Another one bites the dust. Okay. We're going in again. Let's see what we got here. I got a fat one. But it's only one line. I just cut it fat. This is from Lori. And Lori says, I get overwhelmed with everything. I can't get started. Lori, that's your perfectionism. You're thinking too hard. Stop it. Stop it right now. Go get dressed to lace up shoes. The thing is, everything overwhelms you because you've been taught since the day you were born, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. The funny part about that little saying is they left off part of it. See, we tell ourselves we don't have time in our heads to do it right. But we do have 2 minutes. We can set our timer and do 2 minutes. I know I got a timer here somewhere. I guess I've lost it. You can do 2 minutes. 2 minutes is easy. So when you think you only have to do 2 minutes, that keeps you from being overwhelmed. And go shine your sink. See if you can shine your sink in 2 minutes. My first time was about 2 hours because it was an old sink. Robert built this house when he was a bachelor. And he lived alone for a while, and then he was married for a while, and she was just as messy as I was. So when I got here, the sink was covered in hard water scale, and I had to take a chisel to it. So I know what it's like to shine a sink and spend, like taking a toothbrush to grout. I took a toothbrush to that sink. I took a toothbrush and dental floss to that sink and a chisel. And I got that sink shining like a pretty penny. And I'm glad I did. Because I'm here to tell you that shiny sink changed my life. Because when that sink is that shiny, You don't dare put anything in it because you don't want to mess it up. You spent that time working on it. And when that sink is that shiny, the countertops just miraculously get clean because you got that shiny sink and you put the dishes in the dishwasher. You may have to run 3 loads of dishes, but you put the dishes in the dishwasher because that sink is shiny and you don't want to put a dirty dish in it. So you gotta have a place to put it. That's the dirty dish disposal unit. And when the sink is gleaming, the stove wants to shine too. And your only habit has been shining that sink. And then you got clean counters, you got a clean stove, and you look down at the floor and think, wow, I can mop that floor. Because the sink's shining. It all starts there. Really does. Here we go. Question time. Okay. I haven't read any of these. These are all fresh. This is from Lee Catherine. How to keep on top of it all. I have been constantly cleaning all month. I have 4 kids from 3 months to 14 years old. Stop constantly cleaning. That's not good for you. You can't organize clutter. When am I going to get it through to you? You can't organize clutter. Clutter is what is making your house messy. If your hot spots are cleaned off, with the clutter gone from your hot spots, your house looks clean. When you start establishing places for things, then the house looks clean. You got to get rid of the clutter that's hiding under those kitchen cabinets, in the closets, in the drawers, and start finding places for the things that are sitting out all over your house. And then it makes it easier to dust. It makes it easier to vacuum or sweep the floors or mop the floors because everything's up off the floor. You have a little army. The 3-month-old might not be able to do things, but 6-month-olds can grab their toys and toss them. 1-year-olds can carry them over to the toy box. Have a place for everything. Let the kids help. Make it a game. Get them involved. Now, the 14-year-old, they're kind of at a tough age, but they'll do things for prizes. Yeah, surprises. They like things. Little things from the dollar store. I mean, you'd be surprised what you can get a 14-year-old to do with a reward. So try it. Okay, that one's... I think I answered that one appropriately. Here we go. Checking another one off. Who are we going to get now? I want everybody to quit calling themselves lazy. You're not lazy. You're a perfectionist. And it's your perfectionism that causes you to get overwhelmed. So quit saying you're lazy. And ADLD. No. I just saw that on the screen. ADD is a blessing for us because we get bored so easily. And when you flit around the house doing little things, if we start doing those little things around the house to pick up and put away, it's like going on a scavenger hunt with a purpose. Grab something that doesn't belong in the room you're in. Take it to the room where it belongs. Put it where it belongs. And then grab something that's in that room that doesn't belong there. And work your way through the house that way. Set your timer for 15 minutes. You'll be putting stuff away like crazy. And your house is going to look better. Start with one hotspot. And believe it or not, it'll happen. It will happen. Okay, this is from Pam. How do you keep up with everything when you work long hours and you're completely exhausted at the end of the day? I don't want to spend weekends trying to catch up. I don't want you to spend weekends trying to catch up because I want you to have fun and renew your spirit on the weekends. I don't want you doing laundry, marathon laundry on the weekends. Stop it. Okay. I know you're tired when you get home from work. So mornings are your best time to get some stuff done, but you still got to do your before bed routine. You got to get ready for bed. You need to pick up and put things away. You need to shine your sink before you go to bed. These are simple little things. It's not big, heavy things. You're looking at what we do as being totally exhausting. I mean, I am never exhausted except when I run that Bissell sweeper. When I ran the Bissell floor cleaner last weekend to get the floors really clean. That was tough. I sweated. And I never glisten. Never ever glisten. Okay, so those long hours are tough. I know. Because I used to work 44 hours every week. And don't try to do all your work at night. Do a simple before bed routine. Lay out your clothes, pick up your hot spots, shine your sink, get dinner on the table, and let that be your focus for when you get home. Now, and put a load of laundry in. You got to put a load of laundry in, or you're going to be doing laundry all weekend long so you can go to work on Monday. So let's get some laundry done. Now, in the morning, if you will, put something in the crock pot to get dinner going. It's going to make you feel like you got a wife. You're going to feel like somebody's been taking care of you because it's been you. Get home. Do one of your weekly home blessing each day. There's, in where the control journals are, there's a chart. For Mondays you do this, Tuesdays you do this, Wednesdays you do this. And it just makes it real easy. Look at it before you go to bed. Put a Post-it note up on your mirror when you're getting dressed in the morning to remind you. Gather up all the trash. It's trash day, This is how you get things done because you got to use the time when you got the energy. And the energy is the morning. My morning time is my writing time. I mean, that's when I get inspired. And something hits me and I got to write about it. And I try to write until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be fine. But you got to pick the time when you're at your best. Not your best, but your most energetic. And if you don't go to bed at a decent hour, that could be a big problem. Yep, you heard me, those of you who are night owls like me. I go to bed about 1 a.m. But I don't get up till 9 a.m. Usually it's a few minutes before because I'm usually ready to start work about 5 minutes after 9. So I get my 8 hours. Do you? If you get up and you're dragging around and you're hitting the snooze alarm 5 times before you drag yourself out of bed, then stop it. Go to bed at a decent hour. Get caught up on your sleep. This is going to help you in every area of your life. Because when you haven't had your rest, you know how you are. You got a bad mouth. You're hateful with everybody in the house. You beat yourself up. And you have no energy. So let's get that rest every day. You know how it is when your kids don't get their nap out. They're irritable, as Michelle would say. Just irritable. I want you to get your rest. Okay. Here we go. I have one. This is from Teresa. Oh, I love that name. My hairdresser's name's Teresa. I love Saint Teresa. I've been to her shrine several times in Illinois. Anyway, this is from Teresa. I work outside the house. This has been a common thread today. I have a hard time following routines and getting a control journal completed. I'm not going to mention how long I've been struggling with this. Any suggestions? I know right where you're coming from. You poor little perfectionist, you. We want the control journal perfect. We make the control journal too hard. And if it's too hard, you're not going to do it. This is what happened with Pam and Peggy's system for me. We had all these cards, and I made it worse. Their system is great. But I made it hard on me because I piled on. That piling on is what hurt me. I thought, well, if one card was good, 50 cards, 500 cards would be much better. Nope. Because I got overwhelmed just looking at them. And then when I would miss a day of looking at the cards, I would give up. I'd throw the baby out with the bathwater before it ever got started, and I'd just do nothing because I didn't have anything directing me. Here's where we start. Go shine your sink. If I said it one time today, I've said it 50 times. Shine your sink. Get dressed to lace up shoes. And declutter 15 minutes every day. That's it. That gets you started. It's going to change your life. And each month, we practice a new habit. Now, psychologists tell us that it takes 21 days to establish a new habit. They tell fibs. That's what they do. They don't know you like I do. So I know me, if I would miss a day, I'd just give up. So what I have done with our little system is giving you a 10-day grace period. Sometimes it's a 10-day grace period. And that grace period gives you the blessing of being able to jump back in where we are as if you hadn't even missed a day. Forgive yourself for missing a day because we don't think about it. And do your routines. And it's a simple routine, not 10 things. It's get up and get dressed to lace up shoes. Put a load of laundry in. Swish and swipe your bathroom while you're in there. Bam. Go get some breakfast. Unload the dishwasher. Simple routine that's going to get your day flowing. Now, you're going to do other things during the day. And I like to make a list of 5 or 6 things that I can play with over and above my morning routine that I play bingo with by myself. I just, cut them up and put them in a little bowl and pick one out, or roll a dice and number 1 to 6 and pick a number and go do it. Have the kids draw a number. I have a list like that every day of things that I want to accomplish. Today I am washing flower pots. We have a back deck flower arranging area, potting area. And the flower pots just stack up, and so I'm sterilizing flower pots in the dishwasher. They're all done now. I can take them back outside and be ready to go. I might repurpose one of them. Who knows? But that's my little auxiliary list. It's not something that's pressing me that I've got to do, but just something simple. And I don't have a control journal anymore. My routines are established. Now, when I was establishing my routines, I had a control journal. I had one page in a sheet protector that would lay out on the counter, and it had my 5 or 6 step morning routine. There's examples of it on our website in the Getting Started section. And I would go from there. I would try to work through my routine without looking. It's like, no hands, Mom, no hands. It was amazing. I would practice one habit a month, and it started with shining my sink. That was January, because I started January the 1st, but you can start today. Today is August the 10th. You can start today. Shine your sink. The next habit was decluttering 15 minutes a day, because we had clutter everywhere. We had paths in our house. Paths, I'm telling you. And when you can't walk in your house and you don't dare get up in the middle of the night for fear you're going to trip over something, that's pretty rough. So I had to get rid of some clutter just to make way for my routines. So getting my sink shining and keeping it shining and shining it every night before I went to bed was my first big habit that I practiced for a whole month. And after you do it for a month, you've got that down pat. I'm telling you, it is amazing what that does for you. And then the decluttering a little every day, but I was getting dressed too. But I didn't practice getting dressed until March. April's habit is making your bed. Do you know what a difference your bedroom feels like when you've made your bed every day? I did not make my bed up today because I got some new sheets in. I ordered some new sheets yesterday. Not yesterday, I got them in yesterday, and I needed to launder them before I put them on the bed. And I'm going to change those in a few minutes. But, having a bed that looks beautiful, and the cat loves me for it. I'm telling you, I've got this little foot comforter that I fold up and make a pallet on the bed for him. And he's been staying there all day long. Do you know what that keeps me from doing? It keeps me from having to get the cat hair, white cat hair, off my couch. And that makes me happy. Happy, happy. Really happy. So going through the routine, that's April of making your bed. May is moving. Well, I'm trying to move a little more. And I get up and I've been doing exercises, sitting in my chair. I've been lifting my arms up and down and doing things. And I'd get up and when I was putting up dishes, I did some stretches, putting up dishes real high. And you can get loving movement into your day if you just think about it. Just think about it. It's like I've been trying to drink my water. And I put a heart on my bathroom mirror that says water. And and I've got these little holy medals that every time I go to the bathroom, I drink a cup of water. And I look at the holy medal and I say a prayer for somebody. And I put it down on the other side of the counter. And at the end of the day, I've usually had 6 or 7 12-ounce cups of water, which gets my water in. And then I drink water or tea at dinner. And I've got a big cup of water by my chair, which is about 24, maybe 32 ounces. And I've gotten in 100 ounces of water without even thinking. So getting that loving movement in is really helping me. But when you got a control journal that is too long. Now, when we remodeled in 2000, so our floors are 17 years old. When we remodeled in 2000, my son said, "Mom, what are all these Post-it notes on your mirror?" Well, they were how I built my routines. And so I had morning routine on one side and before bed routine on the other. And they were on Post-it notes, which told me what to do. Think about having one sheet of paper with it written down and posted in a sheet protector with a dry erase marker right beside it. Kids like to mark things off too. And you just mark through it with the dry erase marker. And at the end of the day, you wipe it all off. I like to wash my face. I have these little towelettes I wash my face with. And if you keep your control journal in your bathroom where you end your day and you start your day, you can just take that face towel and wipe it all off. Anyway, don't become a perfectionist about your control journal. It's a sheet of paper. It's a Post-it note. You just have to keep it simple because we're going to make everything hard because we're perfectionists. Stop it. Keep it simple. Checking that one off. I got on a roll on that one. We've been talking for an hour already. Let's see how many we got done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. We did good. I think I'll get one more. How about one more? You want one more? Give me some thumbs up if you want another one. One more question. We're going to let this figure out what we got here. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. This is a little one. This is from Kate. And Kate says, I was raised in a home where nothing was ever clean. How do I change my way of thinking from what I live in now isn't that bad? Isn't that how it works? You know, my mother was disorganized. I was too for a long time, but I have a born organized sister. And Patty and I kind of took care of each other. I did the cooking and kept the kitchen clean and the bathroom clean. And she did our laundry and kept the living room and our bedroom clean. And, you know, we had a messy house, but we took care of things. We were little too. We were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, taking care of our younger siblings. So I know what it's like to look at a house that isn't that bad, you know? But guess what? It's our home. Our home, we deserve to have a home that hugs us anytime we walk in the door. We deserve to have a home that we're proud of. You know, this past week there was some poor guy at Google that got fired because he was talking, he did a 10-page paper on why women are not always enthusiastic about being programmers. Well, women are caregivers. We naturally want to take care of things. We're control freaks. We want to, the thought of sitting at a desk programming all day I'd glaze over and I wouldn't get anything done. It's not in my wheelhouse to be a programmer. And there may be people who can think like that, but it's not me. It's not me. I want to teach people. I want to love people. I'm a people person. I want to be around and help people to understand it's okay to be who we are. We don't have to fit in where we don't fit. Now, our husbands may think our house is just fine and don't want it cleaned up. That's great, but you got to do it for you. You got to do it for you. I had a lady one time tell me who was one of the original feminists from back, you know, when women were getting the vote and all these things, and she was really old, you know, 15 years ago. She's probably gone on to the great beyond now, but she said, Marla, don't ever let anybody tell you that you are not a feminist because you're teaching people how to clean house. Everyone deserves to have a house that makes them feel good. Everybody needs to have a house that blesses them. You know, our kids, our millennial children, they seem to think that it's part of their persona to hire somebody to come and clean. That's fine if you can budget it and you make enough money to do it. But most of us don't. Most of us don't have a housekeeper. I don't have a housekeeper. I used to have somebody that would come in once a week. Part of that was because I thought she needed work, and I was happy to give her something to do, but I didn't have to clean to get ready for her to come. She just did my weekly home blessing hour pretty much, but that was only for about a year, and now I do it all. We don't have to feel guilty for being women. We can do whatever we set our minds to do. And if you want to be a programmer, then do it. If you want to be a nurse, then do it. If you want to stay at home and take care of your babies, then do it. If you want to homeschool, then do it. But don't sit back and beat yourself up because you can't. Because we can do anything we set our minds to do. And our houses can get clean because we're just that stubborn. Yeah, stubborn can be an asset if you'll allow it to help you to get things done. Don't get overwhelmed. When you hear yourself say, I don't have time, this is overwhelmed, set your timer for 2 minutes. You can do this. Our minds work differently from men, and that's okay. It's okay. Husbands have a hard time juggling things. Well, I don't want you to juggle things either, but you have to learn to focus on one thing at a time, because a hound dog can't chase 8 rabbits at one time. They can only chase one. And my big dog may not be a hound dog, but he caught a skunk last night. So he must have walked through the fog of the skunk. We can do what we need to do to get things done. As my granny always said, Kate never could do anything. And it was Kate. Kate never could do anything. But when you talk yourself out of it, sure enough, you can't. You can't do a thing because you've talked yourself out of it. I'm trying to talk you into 2 minutes. Go shine that sink. Go empty the trash. 2 minutes. I love you all. We'll do this again next week. I got more, and maybe Sister Patty will pull some more off the chat right here, the comments. Naomi, yes, we do help with finances. We have a financial control journal on our website in the control journal section. It's free to download. It's called the FACE Control Journal. Financial awareness continually empowers. We all need to be financially aware. Even our government. We need to know what we're spending and where it's going. I love you. Say prayers for our political people. They need help. And let's be safe. Let's love each other. Let's get rid of the fear. Turn the TVs off. Put on some fun music. I've been listening to fun music all day long. All day long. Been playing iTunes roulette, and 1 minute it'll be Harry Potter, and the next minute it'll be Sister Hazel. It's just been so much fun listening to my full music archives, because usually I'm just listening to gospel music, but for some reason it got turned on today, and I'm listening to all kinds of things, and it's been interesting. It's been just like all these questions have been interesting today. Keep those cards and letters coming. That dates me too. Anyway, let's have some fun this week. Next week, we are in zone 3. That's our main bathroom. And another room in our house. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but you'll find out on Saturday with the sneak peek. And then we're still in our kitchens this week. I'm going to go declutter my junk drawer right now. Yep, I have a junk drawer. It's really a gadget drawer. It's all the extra accessories for things in my kitchen, like my mixer and stuff I don't use all the time that are in my utensil drawer. So, everybody, let's pray for all our military service people. I got an amazing thing in the mail the other day. I'm gonna pan the camera around. I've been cleaning out my sewing machine over here. I didn't clean out the drawers when I did this room, so I've been sorting through the drawers, and I have some piles going on. But it's okay because I'm going to get my sewing machine back going. So I'm gonna pan around, and you see that big box right there that says FOV? It's called Flags of Valor. And maybe by next week I will have it up on the wall. It is a wooden distressed flag, United States flag. I think I want to put it on this wall right over here. That wall right there. And I'm so excited about it. I ordered it about 6 weeks ago and it came in. And I think I want to have somebody videotape me when I open it. So I'm just holding the package until I can figure out where I want to put it. And, I might put it on the wall over there. I got a spot right up there that might look good. Anyway, dream a little. Let's say some prayers for everything's going on in the world. And, all we can do is take care of our little neck of the woods. Our little neck of the woods. And if we have our homes where they hug us when we walk in the door, we don't have to worry about what's going on out there. Because we got a sanctuary. We got a happy place. We're not feeling bad about it. I love you all. See you next week. Bye. Come on in, everybody. We're going to take it slow and steady. You got that?
All day I rush around, but I'm still on the ground, on the ground. I'll soon be fluttering if I can find my wings, find my wings. Impatiently, I want to fly today.
Don't we all?
But I hear a gentle voice inside me say that slow and steady steps will be my pace. Slow and steady steps will win this race.
Glad you're here.
It will take some time, but the victory will be mine. Slow and steady, I'm gonna learn to fly. I'm starting to believe I only race with me, only me. I can't
come on in. I know a lot of people are out having family fun. It's okay. They'll catch it on the replay.
It's for myself. Since my best is all I have, it is enough. I can see a ray of hope. I've got to trust that slow and steady.
Okay. Come on in, everybody. I know there's not many people here, but that's okay because you're here. Let's just enjoy some time together. We got stories to tell and things to discuss about menu planning. But first, let's start out with chapter 31 in the Passion Translation of the of Psalms. How great is your goodness! For the pure and shining one, a song of poetic praise by King David. I trust you, Lord, to be my hiding place. Don't let me down. Don't let my enemies bring me to shame. Come and rescue me, for you are the only God who always does that what is right. You know, my granny always said, if you do what's right, God will take care of you. Rescue me. King David didn't say that. I said that. My granny wasn't a wise woman. Rescue me quickly when I cry out to you. At the sound of my prayer, may your ear be turned to me. Be my strong shelter and hiding place on high. Pull me into victory and breakthrough, for you are my high fortress where I'm kept safe. You are to me a stronghold of salvation. When you deliver me out of this peril, it will bring glory to your name. As you guide me forth, I'll be kept safe from the hidden snares of the enemy. The secret traps that lie before me for let me go back a second. As you guide me forth, I'll keep you safe from the hidden snares of the enemy. The secret traps that lie before me, for you have become my rock of strength. Into your hands I now entrust my spirit. O Lord, the God of faithfulness, you have rescued and redeemed me. I despise these deceptive illusions, all this pretense and nonsense, for I worship only you. In mercy, you have been my troubles and you have cared for me. Even during the crisis in my soul, I will be radiant with joy, filled with praise for your love and mercy. You have kept me from being conquered by my enemy. You broke open the way to bring me to freedom into a beautiful broad place. Oh Lord, help me again. Keep showing me such mercy, for I am in anguish, always in tears, and I am torn with weeping. I'm becoming old because of grief. My health is broken. I'm exhausted. My life is spent with sorrow, my years with sighing and sadness. Because of all of these troubles, I have no more strength. My inner being is so weak and frail. My enemies say, you are nothing. Even my friends and neighbors hold me in contempt. They dread seeing me. They look the other way when I pass by. I am totally forgotten, buried away like a dead man, discarded with a broken dish, discarded like a broken dish in the trash. I overheard their whisper threats and the slander of my enemies. I'm terrified as they plot and scheme to take my life. I can't see. I'm having trouble. Probably because I teared up a while ago. I'm desperate, Lord. I throw myself upon you, for you alone are my God. My life, my every moment, my destiny, it's all in your hands. So I know you will deliver me from those who persecute me relentlessly. Smile on me, your servant. Let your undying love and glorious grace save me from all this gloom. As I call upon you, let my shame and disgrace be replaced by your favor once again. But let shame and disgrace fall upon the wicked, those going to their own doom. drifting down in silence to the dust of death. At last their lying lips will be muted in their graves, for they are arrogant, filled with contempt and conceit as they speak against the godly. Lord, how wonderful are you! You have stored up so many good things for us, like a treasure chest heaped up with spilling over with blessings, all for those who honor and worship you. Everybody knows that you can do what you can do for those who turn and hide themselves in you. So hide all your beloved ones in the sheltered secret place before your face. Overshadow them with your glory presence. Keep them from the accusations and brutal insults of evil men. Tuck them safely away in the tabernacle where you dwell. The name of the Lord is blessed and lifted high, for his marvelous miracle of mercy protected me when I was overwhelmed by my enemies. I spoke hastily when I said, "The Lord has deserted me." For the truth, you did hear my prayer and you came to rescue me. Listen to me, all you godly ones. Love the Lord with passion. The Lord protects and preserves all those who are loyal to him, but he pays back in full all those who reject him in their pride. So cheer up, take courage, all you who love him. Wait for him to break through for you, all who trust in him. And that was the 31st chapter of Psalms. Now, I told you we were going to talk about some menu planning and preparation, being prepared. Many years ago, some of you probably aren't even old enough to remember the the problem when we went from 1999 to 2000. They called it the Y2K. They had, everybody was preparing for the computers not to work, and computers they were young items, and we got prepared. Well, I got prepared too. I went to a restaurant supply place over in Hendersonville, and I had a long list of things to buy, and I bought them. And then I came home and I made some bags to put them in, and I put most things in the freezer. I had a big chest type freezer that my friend gave me who moved here. I've mentioned her before. Her nickname was Mad Cow because her initials were MAD, and Robert nicknamed her Mad Cow when we would get an email from her. And she gave me this freezer when she moved to the mountains, and it was a good freezer. It was a big freezer. But I put everything in this freezer, and especially the beans. I got red beans and black beans and pinto beans and rice, and I bagged it all up and I put it all in the freezer. Not that you have to do that with dried stuff, but I wanted to kill off anything that was in there. Well, I didn't put the oats in there, and I got a case of oatmeal. I like oatmeal. If you're hungry, you'll eat oatmeal. I like oatmeal cookies. I like to make apple crisp that uses oatmeal. I mean, with dried apples and oatmeal and some brown sugar, you can do just about anything. And so I had this case of Quaker oats. I mean, it was like 12 canisters, the big ones, that I put on a shelf. They were still in the box. I mean, in the box they came in. They'd never been opened. But all of a sudden, I started noticing that there were these little bitty worms, I mean, larvae, climbing up my bathroom wall. And I'm trying to figure out what in the world, where did these things come from? And Robert called me one day. He said, "Come downstairs and look at this." And there was this nest of spider webs over the shelf that had the oats in it. Come to find out, we had a whole ecosystem going. In the oats were some little bitty midges, little moths type things, and they would fly up and get caught in the spider webs, and the spiders would eat them. But the larva could eat their way out of the little boxes and out of the box it was in, and they would climb up the wall into my bathroom. So it was funny. And this stuff comes in everything. I don't know why I didn't put the oats in the freezer too when I got them to kill off anything that was in there, because the freezer gets down to zero and it's left in there at a certain length of time, it'll kill off anything that's in there. Well, I didn't do that. Needless to say, we had to throw all the oats out because they were all contaminated. If you've ever opened a box of oats and you've seen little webs inside, it's because of these little larvae that come in the oats. I guess we're getting a little bit of protein with them. Anyway, so that's what I was talking about this morning when I told you I was going to tell a story about the spiders. The spiders created their own ecosystem, and they were catching the critters. They were coming out of the oatmeal boxes. So be careful what you store. You need to put it into um, heavy duty containers. I got a bunch of, at that time, I went to the hardware store and got some lard cans. There were like 5-gallon lard cans. Now you can get 5-gallon buckets now, they're plastic. But I got 5-gallon lard cans and I put a lot of stuff in those 5-gallon lard cans. This time I had purchased flour and I can make tortillas, I can make pasta, I can make biscuits, I can make rolls, I can make all kinds of things. And I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for being stuck at home for 3 weeks without electricity if we run out of generator power. I'm ready. And I've seen it happen in an ice storm where my grandmother was without electricity for 3 weeks. I was so blessed that my cousin could take her to his house and he took care of her. He took care of her. Somebody says I look just like Kathy Bates. Thank you very much. But I'm not Kathy Bates. No, she can play me in my movie. Anyway, um, first time I ever heard that was Justin and I went to a movie called Misery, and I walked out the theater, and somebody said, "You look just like Kathy Bates." Oh, my hair's long, and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about menu planning and being prepared and taking care of things. Yesterday I watched The Patriot Nurse, and she went to the dollar store to get things. Robert's been gathering up all our little old first aid kits that we have around and getting rid of the things that are expired, and we're good to go. We are good to go. We I even have some stuff that can, if you get cut real bad, you put it on the cut and it and you pull it together. It makes sutures. So that would be the only problem we would have is if we had a bad cut, stopping the bleeding. And Robert's outside chopping wood and doing stuff like that all the time. So we have a message, I think it's going out tomorrow, but it's all about some tips, some money saving tips for menu planning. And when Justin was little, I went shopping every 2 weeks. I had to go 30 miles out of town to go to a big grocery store. And so one of my main rules was to always have a grocery list and to stick to it. If you just make a grocery list and then you go up and down the aisles buying the same old all the time, that's not good. Never go to the grocery store hungry. Do you hear me? Eat before you go grocery shopping. Eat before you go grocery shopping. It's going to change everything. Do not shop when you're in a hurry. You need to stick to your list and make changes if you need to, if they're out of stuff. But the main thing here is don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Sometimes you may need to go to the grocery store while everybody's gone to bed. Your husband's there at home with the kids. You run to the grocery store at night. It's not as many people there, and you can get a lot of stuff done. Fewer people in the store. And take your time putting away groceries. Always clean out your refrigerator before you go to the grocery store. That way you have a place to put your fresh veggies instead of just cramming them in willy-nilly. Let's see what else. Another thing, I like to buy in bulk. You buy chicken pieces, but you don't cook all those chicken pieces at one time. Now, I've been subscribed to Moink Box, and they send me a box of meat every 3 weeks. And so I have a good supply of meat that has been vacuum sealed and will keep a while in your freezer. So I also have a vacuum sealer that I can seal up my own meats and things, and it works well. But a Ziploc bag will work too. All you got to do is just get the air out. You just got to get the air out as much. If you have to squeeze it out on a flat surface, it's great. You can do it. And there are YouTube videos on how to vacuum seal things with a sink full of water. I believe it. I've seen it. So look up YouTube. I like freezer paper too. You can buy a roll of freezer paper at the grocery store, and you can wrap things in freezer paper. And I love freezer bags, Ziploc bags. It's a brand name, not a type. And masking tape for the freezer. If you're going to use freezer paper, you've got to learn how to fold things in, wrap things over, and roll it around it to keep the freezer from getting to it. And you need a Sharpie for all of it. You need to have a Sharpie so that you can write what's in the package and a date on the package. So going to the grocery store with a purpose. Now, I've also taught you how to brown hamburger meat. Just take your hamburger meat, put it in the crock pot with a little water, and you can throw 2 or 3 onions in with it and stir it every 15 minutes, and in 3 hours you've got cooked hamburger meat and onions that you can put 2 cups in a Ziploc bag and have pre-cooked hamburger meat for your meals. Now, some of the people I watch on YouTube, they can their hamburger meat. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I could if I had to. If I didn't have electricity to put it in the freezer, I might do that. But I'm good with. I've got a freezer, and it keeps food at a solid 0 degrees. Lisa's in the process of menu planning for my mom. Making her freezer meals is one of her Christmas gifts. How beautiful. You know what I gave for Christmas last year? I gave meat boxes. I gave people food for Christmas. Doesn't get any better than that. I gave my sister, I think it started out at Butcher Box, but I gave her a subscription. So there are some good clutter-free gifts out there. And use your calendar to plan these meals. Yeah, I got a video on how to cook the hamburger meat in the crock pot. I've done it. I do it all the time. Patty says I gave her toilet paper. Yep. She gets a supply of toilet paper every month, and she's stocked up. We're not hoarding. We're just staying prepared, and she's able to help her family too. If they can't find it, she's got it. So good clutter-free gifts are a powerful tool to get through this winter and all kinds of things like this. Anyway, folks, be prepared. Don't wait. Don't wait. We never know when we're going to get a storm, when we're going to get an ice storm. I mean, there was some snow this week in, I think, Wyoming and Montana. I've seen my first snow here on October 13th. But don't hoard and don't spend like a crazy person. Just a few extra things each week will get you a supply, and you can be prepared to feed your family. I have alternative ways of cooking. I have a grill that I can put in my fireplace, and I can cook on an open fire because I've done it lots of times. I have a wood stove in the basement that we just got installed that I can put a pot of beans on there and let it cook all day. I have a grill in Robert's treehouse that's on propane that I can cook in. Now, when our power is out, I do not have an electric stove. Our microwave can heat some things up, but my stove is not on our power, and I don't have gas for a stove. I do have an electric skillet in the basement that I could plug in to where we make our coffee, and I could cook in that electric skillet. I've made roast, I've made all kinds of things, cooked whole breakfasts in the skillet, and it works. I'm stocked up on laundry detergent, but our washer is not on our grid for our generator. I would have to plug it into a different place. I'd have to use an extension cord, and I got plenty of extension cords. I got enough extension cords to get all the way down my driveway to my well. So, folks, there's no sense in just sticking your head in the sand and not thinking anything's going to happen, because one day something will happen. It will. And you're going to want to be prepared. And being prepared gives you peace like you wouldn't believe it gives you peace. So quit procrastinating and do what you can. I've used Moink and ButcherBox. I have had problems with ButcherBox. I'll be honest. I have had problems with them. And they upset me so bad that I canceled 3 subscriptions to them 2 months ago. Yeah, I did this thing. Somebody's asking a question about angeled eggs. She did her angeled eggs for the first time. All the yellows had a dark color around the outside. What did I do wrong? Well, it's nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Your oven may be just a tad bit hotter than my oven, and I don't put my eggs in there in a hot oven. I don't preheat my oven, so you may have preheated your oven. I just turned my oven on at whatever temperature I've said it is, and because I can't remember, I'd have to look up the recipe or the video of it. And you got to cool them off real quick. So I drop them in ice cold water to stop them from cooking. So they keep cooking once you get them out of the oven. You got it? So cool them off quick and you'll be fine. I've never tried Omaha, but Moink is a bunch of farmers got together and started their own business from farm to table, and I like that. I really like that. And they vacuum seal their meat, and it comes with dry ice, and it's a good deal. It's a good deal. And over the last year, I have gotten stocked up on food for my freezer. Anyway, y'all, take care of yourself. Be kind. I love the idea of making freezer meals for your mom. That's just wonderful. You can get a bunch of bento boxes. I thought I had one here handy. I don't know where it went to. The Roomba must have run off with it. But you can get these boxes. Maybe you can on Amazon, and you can make your own freezer meals. Or you can bag things up in Ziploc bags for them and put them all in one bag. And then she can heat everything up, put it on a plate, and be ready to go. So think about giving clutter-free gifts. Clutter-free gifts are the best. I love it. I absolutely love it. Justin and Kathy and Jack and we are all going together and getting a couple of locally produced steers for our freezer. And I think we're gonna get a freezer for the office and put everything. We got a generator at the office too. We're gonna put the meat in the freezer. So, folks, be prepared. Support your local farmers. They work hard. And if you have somebody that produces chickens around you and you get fresh eggs from them, save your egg cartons for them and tip them well, because fresh eggs are amazing. I mean, my neighbor gave us some a couple of weeks ago and we absolutely loved them. They didn't last long. Anyway, folks, y'all be good, kind, and sweet. Good to yourself, kind to others, and let the joy that's in your heart show the world that you're a child of God. Tomorrow is Renew Your Spirit Day, so sit down and get into the Word and pray. In fact, that's what we should do right now. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for everything you do for us. Thank you for giving us a brain and common sense. Thank you for giving us strength to get through rainy times and stormy times. Thank you for giving us faith in you and faith in ourselves. Thank you for all of these things, Lord. Thank you for all the blessings that you give our family. Keep us strong. Thank you for the food in our pantries and the clothes in our closets. Let us bless others with our abundance and keep singing your praises, Lord. Thank you for sending your Son to die for our sins on the cross so that we could one day spend an eternity with you in heaven. All these things we ask in your Son's holy name. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget about our sale. Save 31. This is 31%. Ends on Monday. Carpet sweepers, feather dusters, calendars, anything that's not already deeply discounted, you can save 31% on. Get it now while you can. Let's do it. I'll see you later. Bye.
Within these walls, home is just a word, a fairy tale I'd heard that always kept me searching. Within these walls would pull me down. I wouldn't look around to see that love surrounds me. Within these walls, friends now gather here, and laughter fills the air. It's all that I was wanting. I've tried before to do it on my own. Now I found a way to make a home. Within these walls, I have learned to fly, to take charge of my life, and find the peace inside me. Within these walls, we love and work and play, finding joy along the way. And now I want to stay within these walls.
There we have it. Yeah, I got on the I took a little siesta about 2 o'clock. I'd worked really hard. Leanne and I've been sharing houses, and we just had all of a sudden my eyes got heavy and the sky got dark, and I thought, well, I'll lay down and take a nap because I got alarms on my watch and my phone, and sure enough, at 5 minutes till 3, I woke up. It was a cat nap, but sometimes cat naps are the best ones, you know? So I pulled a little rabbit out of the hat, thinking, you know, I'll come up with a topic for today. And I pulled out 2 before this, and none of them seemed fine. And then I found why shining your sink matters. How many of you have a shiny sink? Tell me, how many of you have a shiny sink? Because if you've not bothered to shine your sink because you were rebelling, then I'm going to talk to you about why shining a sink really does matter. Please share our videos. You make it possible so other people know what we're doing here. Now, keep in mind, I set out on New Year's Day of 1999 to get my house in order, to get organized, to be able to do what I needed to do to be a county commissioner in Transylvania County, North Carolina. And what I realized when I was going through Pam and Peggy's card file system, I didn't have a little 3x5 card file box. I had a card file tray with lots of dividers, lots of the 31 days, 12 months, the days of the week. It was just absolutely crazy how many cards I had. I didn't just have one card. I had, it seemed like 500 cards. But it wasn't this long. It was this long. And what I realized on that New Year's Day is I piled on. I made it hard on me, folks. I made it hard on me to get things done. And I tried to figure out why I couldn't keep house. So I'm sitting there beating myself up because I can't keep house, trying to figure out why I can't keep house. And it dawns on me that I had never established a habit, ever. Never, ever established a habit. And so I picked, I took all those cards and I sorted them into piles. A morning pile, a daily pile, a weekly pile, and a monthly pile. Well, our daily pile consists of your morning routine, your before bed routine, your afternoon routine, the take care of you routine, all of that. Here I had all these cards, and I had over 50 of them just for the day. Well, they weren't working, so I had to come up with another plan. I thought, well, I'll make a list. How many of you how many of you like to make lists? We love to write down lists. But what we like most about lists is checking things off. I did that this morning. I made a list and I marked things off, and that was so much fun. But when I made the list of 20 of front and back of a sheet of paper, I looked at myself and I started beating myself up again. I can't do that. So I thought, well, what is it that I've not done? And that's when it hit me that I had never established a habit. Now, psychologists tell us it takes 21 days to establish a habit. Well, they don't know us, because all we do is beat ourselves up. So I decided to give myself a little grace. Give myself a little bit of grace. That's why we have a 17-month calendar, not just a 12-month calendar. I give you 5 months of grace. Well, I was going to give myself 10 days of grace. And that grace was going to help propel me into establishing habit. Because with a sidetracked person, what we do is we continually beat ourselves up. But when we miss a day of doing our routines, we just give up. I can't do this. Can't, as my granny always said, can't never could do anything. And so we live up to our own expectations. We say we can't get it. We can't do it. We throw the baby out with the bathwater. And sure enough, we can't. But if we'll be kind to ourselves, give ourselves a little leeway here, a little grace, then we can establish this habit. And established habits are so hard to throw by the wayside. So, shining your sink became the habit I was going to practice for the month of January. So what did I do? I was in my kitchen anyway. So I decided, now our kitchen, it was in 1999. Robert had built his house in 1975. So the kitchen sink was 25 years old. 25 years old. And we have hard water. So there was crusty water around the faucets. So I got out my trusty carton of Comet and I scrubbed the sink. Well, that didn't do it. I rinsed the sink out real good, and I got some bleach, and I put the sink. I filled the sink full of hot water, and I put a cup of bleach in each side of the sink, and I let it sit for a while, and then I took some tongs and pulled the plug and let the water out. And it was looking pretty good. I rinsed it really good. I did the Comet again, and I took an SOS pad. And those of you who don't know what an SOS pad, it's a steel wool pad that has cleaning stuff in it. It has a soap in it, but it's the dried soap. And I scrubbed the sink really well. And then I took a butter knife, just a regular knife. Might have used a steak knife. And I scraped around the edges of the seal around the sink. And before I was through, I had dental floss working around the edge of the faucet. That sink was shining. It was absolutely gorgeous. After I rinsed it all out, I took a paper towel and wiped out the sink with Windex and really made it shine. And that steel wool buffed that stainless steel sink. It was cruddy. It was a cruddy sink. And it turned it into a brand new sink. Brand new. And so that was the habit I practiced for the whole month of January. I never expected it to stick. But that was the only thing I was required to do, was keep that sink clean and shiny. Now, I got dressed every day, and I did other things around the house. I cooked dinner. But you know how easy it is to cook dinner when you walk into the kitchen and you're not greeted with mystery water and dirty dishes staring you in the face saying, just go ahead and order pizza. You don't want to mess with me right now. And that shiny sink propelled me into emptying my dishwasher as soon as it finished every day. Because that shiny sink, I was not going to put a dirty dish in that shiny sink. I was not going to pile dishes in that shiny sink. And you know, that habit has stuck. And it's been over 20 years now. My sink is shiny. Yeah, I pot flowers in my sink. I do lots of things in my kitchen sink. But my sink is shining always. Always. And it changed my life. And it changed yours. Because the dishwasher was emptied after it ran, I always had a place to put the dirty dish. That's why it becomes the dirty dish disposal unit. And if you don't have a dishwasher, clean out from underneath your sink and put a dishpan under there. We've all got dishpans that we can use. That's what my granny used to do. She would have a dishpan that she would put in the sink with the dishes she had used during the day. And she would wash them up before dinner and wash them up with the dinner dishes. And then she put her dishpan back up in under the sink. She had room under there. We all have too much stuff under our kitchen sinks. But as I was keeping that sink clean and shiny, the countertops got cleaned, clutter went away, the stove got cleaned, my ugly, ugly linoleum floor that was yellow, that you could barely tell was yellow, it got cleaned. And there you have it. It was amazing. One of my little ear pods went bad. It just closed out. So that shiny sink gave me hope. Hope that I could change. Hope that I wasn't impossible to ever get organized. That shiny sink, when you get up in the morning and you're not greeted with stuff floating on top of the water in your sink, you're able to get a glass of water or make a pot of coffee without being grossed out. And, you know, the upside to that was my husband asked me, we hadn't been married very long, he said, honey, if you'll just keep one side of the sink open, I'll make you coffee every day. Because he still does. He makes me a cup of coffee every single day. And it changed my life. And I think it changed his too. So folks, go shine your sink. Don't wait. Just do it. Don't wait for the magic fairy to come in and wash all your dishes and put your dishes on the floor. I don't care. Put them in your laundry basket, set them on the floor, and shine your sink. Make it look like it's never looked before. Don't mix chemicals. Don't mix Comet and bleach and Windex. Don't do that. One step at a time and get it shining. Use a 3M pad that's it cleans stuff really well. But shine your sink. It will change your life. And it will keep giving you hope. And that's the song that's what the shiny sink does. It gives you hope. Hope that you can make a positive change. Hope, hope, hope. So folks, have a good rest of the day. It's date night. It's family fun day tomorrow. It's renew your spirit on Sunday. Take some time to make some memories tomorrow with your children. But your shiny sink is going to give you the hope you need to get through the day. And it will do it for you. And we have a shiny sink video on YouTube. check it out because I made the video.
I can hear the thunder rolling, and the rain begins to fall. I can feel my courage tremble after I have come so far. Today my heart is sinking, and my world is caving in. But there's light on the horizon, and the darkness will give in to one more day of hope, one more day of faith. Tomorrow will be brighter if I get through today. Better days are coming further down the road. So for now I'll just keep clinging to one more day of hope. One more day. And I know that I'll get through this. My dreams are in my grasp.
Yep.
When I find the power within me, I know this storm will pass. It will only make me stronger. When this victory I've won, I can last a little longer if I keep holding on to one more day of hope, one more day of faith. Tomorrow will be brighter if I get through today. Better days are coming further down the road. So for now I'll just keep clinging to one more day of hope, one more day. Better days are coming further down the road. So for now I'll just keep clinging to one more day of hope. One more day.
Y'all are asking me about my plaques behind me. Well, the flag is from Flags of Valor. That's made by veterans. And I've had that for a while. I just think it makes a great backdrop. Right behind my head is I'm free to fly. I bought that off of Etsy from an artist that does watercolors. And I have had it for, I saw her work on Facebook and I had to have it because I loved it. And then this right here is a canvas that I had done from a picture I made of a rose in my yard. It was a double centered rose. And so I had that. In fact, I have it right here on a cup because I loved it so much. You see the double center on it? It's just absolutely beautiful. So I made me one and made my sister Patty one because it reminded me of the two of us. And then this picture right here, something Ben made for me while he was in prison. And it's a picture of his mom and three of my biological sisters that we had the same mom and dad. But I have another sister, Susan, and another brother, Clifton. But that was a picture of us, and we're holding little pictures of the monkeys. We were just little tiny people then. And then the Why Not Today plaque, that was made for me by Amy Lacey, because that was our song, and Eric sings it. And then Robert made this for me, this cross for me, this past couple weeks ago, and it's put together with lots of little pieces of wood. I saw it on Facebook too and ordered the kit, and he put it together for me. And this is a little cloisonne cross that somebody gave me that it looks better hanging in the window. And up here is let's see if I can show it to you. This is a license plate that my brother-in-law made for me. And then this is my faith, Hebrews 11:1, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So everything on my wall is meaningful. It's all just lovely, just part of me. So I don't really know where you can get these things because it's just things I've collected that are important. And then Kathy gave me this. There is nothing better than a good friend except a good friend with chocolate. And then this is our little FlyLady doll. So we have it's quite an interesting wall. It's my little wall. How's Jay doing? Jay has had some better days. He's getting better every day. So glory be to God. He has, I got him a watch that has a pressure point on his wrist that is helping with the nausea, and he's worn a neck brace to keep him from moving his head. And it seems to be helping him a little. So keep saying prayers. My sister Dina's got to have an MRI because her arm is not healing where she had surgery back in May. So the tendon is not staying connected. So they're going to get better. I know it. So keep them in your prayers. Ben has surgery September the 3rd. I didn't sit in a recliner. It was a wingback chair that, in fact, the chair is sitting right there. It was a wingback chair that's been in my husband's family for 300 years. And I had it recovered. In fact, the last time it was recovered when my mother-in-law had it. No, we can't get a FlyLady doll. Let me tell you about the FlyLady doll. Jack had them made for me. But FlyLady, she points a finger. Well, cartoons only have like 3 fingers. And when she points her fingers, it looks like she's doing a salute that's not really good. So we couldn't sell them. But I've given away a lot of them. We gave away a bunch of them at homeschooling conferences. But we can't sell them. But she's kind of cute. Maybe we'll get Jack to find us some more of them. But Ben's got to have surgery on the 3rd of September to finish out cleaning out his inside of his abdomen of cancer. So keep my family in your prayers. Yeah, we laughed so hard when we saw that. We just laughed so hard it wasn't even funny. It just broke my heart that FlyLady was flipping a bird. Anyway, folks, you just have to laugh. It's just part of, you can't be sad, but it makes little babies happy, and they don't know what she's doing. They don't have a clue what she's doing. Anyway, y'all, have a good rest of the evening. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe Jack can have us a less offensive version made. That would be good. Anyway, you gotta learn to roll with it and just laugh at things. Just laugh at things. Anyway, the chair that I used to sit in that's right there, 8 people have died sitting in that chair. So I got to thinking, I don't want to be one of those people. So I got me another way. I set me up another little studio, and I really like it. I like my little things on the wall. I really like that. And I'll rearrange stuff from time to time. But you just have to laugh. And this chair, when I had to take tacks out of it that were hand-forged tacks. Hand-forged tacks out of this chair. I wish I had saved them. There was a tack everywhere. But I had it recovered, and I like what it's covered in, but I put some slip covers on it because I did the show sitting in that chair. But I like better sitting up high and having stuff behind me. Don't sit in that chair. I won't. Anyway, I love you all. I will see you later. Bye. Hey everybody, get on in here. I am cooking up a storm. I've got squash casseroles in the refrigerator. I just finished them up. And I pulled my hair back because it's driving me nuts. I almost put it in a hairnet. So come on in. Come on in. Let's talk about cooking. You want to talk about cooking? I'm going to give you some recipes. Now, they're really simple recipes, and I don't have any measurements on anything. But it really does. I cook without a GPS, y'all. I just cook. So the squash casserole I just got through making. I've been working on it for 2 days. Now, some people say, you're going to ruin the squash. Well, I have a system. So everybody get on in here. Have I got everything on? Can you hear me on Facebook? Because I've got my AirPod in because my other ones kept me chained to my computer. Other headset. So I put my AirPod in. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me on Facebook. Or whatever, smiley face, whatever it's got. Anyway, come on in. We got almost as many people on YouTube as we have on Facebook. So I didn't bring any tea in. I've been trying to drink my water, so I have plenty of water. I have to make sure a bug didn't get in it. It's nothing like taking a big drink and something wiggling in your mouth. It's happened to me. Especially in the middle of the night. If I get a drink of water out of the bathroom, it's dark in there. And so I have learned to put my cup under the sink, switch it around, and pour it out, and then put some water in it. You got to look in your shoes too. Yeah, you have to look in your shoes too when you put them on. Because I put my shoes on and I felt something wiggling at my toes, and it was a big old fat wolf spider. I didn't kill it though. Anyway, everybody get in here. We're going to talk some cooking. Now, here's my menu for this weekend. We got Saturday, we got Sunday, we got tonight. I don't know what we're going to do for dinner tonight yet. I haven't decided. But we have, Robert went to the grocery store for us. We have brats that we can cook and have hot dogs. I think we might do that tonight for dinner. I have got... I want to do heart attack baked beans. I'm going to make a potato salad. And the squash casserole. And we got some corn on the cob. Now, this is the way I do my corn on the cob. And I've been doing it this way for 45 years or more. You take your corn off. You take your whole corn. And you pull off some heavy-duty aluminum foil. pieces, about like this. And you get some butter. I like softened butter. We keep our butter in a butter bowl that has a lid on it, and it gets room temperature, which is great. So I take my rubber scrubber, I pull the ear of corn out of the shucks, and then I rub it with this. You can do it outside, and you just rub it with your rubber scrubber and take the silks off. And then you wash your corn. That puts a little water on it. And here's what I like to do. I take my corn and put it on the aluminum foil, crossways. And you're going to roll, but you got to smear some butter on it. I like a couple of pats of butter. It doesn't matter if your butter's cold or warm. It doesn't matter. And then I put black pepper on it, really fresh black pepper. And if I want a little bite to it, I'll sprinkle some cayenne in it. Just a little sprinkle of cayenne. And there you have it. And I roll it up. Well, I take the ends of the aluminum foil and fold them over and seal them real good, and then roll the corn up and then seal the ends. So you're going to steam this corn. You can either cook it in your oven, you can cook it in your crock pot, or you can cook it on the grill. If you cook it on the grill, you need to not put it on straight on the fire, but put it up on a rack or off to the side, and then just every 10 minutes, turn it. Every 10 minutes, turn it. If you have it in the oven, you just need to flip it once. If you put it in your crock pot, it'll be fine. So this was a have-to case to get the hair off my face. So I cooked the corn about 45 minutes to an hour. I know that people say that's too much, but I like my corn chewy and maybe even charred a little bit, just a tiny bit. So I'm going to put that together this afternoon, get that in the refrigerator, ready to go in the oven or the crock pot or on the grill, whatever we decide to do, because we're cooking ribs. We're cooking ribs on Sunday. And so I'm going to put my ribs in the crock pot to pre-cook, and then I'm going to wrap them and put them, then I'm going to put them on the grill. I think. Sometimes Robert just says the grill's just too much trouble. Cook it inside. And we've turned the air conditioner on, so we can do that now. Potato salad. Potato salad. I'm going to boil my potatoes today. I got a little bag of red potatoes. Red potatoes make the best potato salad. I'm not going to peel them. I'm going to put them whole in the big pot that I was cooking my squash in. And I'll tell you how I cook my squash in a minute. But I'm going to put them in that big pot and bring them to a boil and boil them for an hour. And I'm going to pour the water off of them and let them cool and put them in a bag and put them in the refrigerator. So when I get ready to make the potato salad, all I got to do is either peel them if I want to. Sometimes I don't even peel the potatoes, but I wash my potatoes really well before I put them in the water. And if you've got new potatoes, oh my goodness, that'd be an amazing potato salad. But it's a great, easy potato salad. You take mayonnaise and some mustard and boil you some eggs to go in it, and cut up an onion if you want it, and mix the mayonnaise and mustard and a little paprika, and bam, stir it all together, and you got potatoes. I like to put a little pickle relish, sweet pickle relish in my potato salad too. So as a Southern cook, you just throw it together. You just throw it together. So that's potato salad. Now my baked beans. My baked beans are heart attack baked beans. They have lots of bacon in it. And Robert gets these mangled pieces of bacon in a package about like this, and I cut it up, and I've thrown that in the crock pot to pre-cook. So it's ready to go. I'm going to turn the crock pot off right now. And I can stir, well, I might just go ahead and stir in my stuff for my fixings. So I just take a couple of cups, maybe 3 cups of, I'm making a lot of baked beans because I'm going to share them with my neighbor. And I'm going to put the ketchup in there and some brown sugar, and about a cup of brown sugar, 3 cups of the recipes on our website. You can't miss it if you search for heart attack baked beans. And then you brown sugar, a little Worcestershire, a little mustard, and stir it up until the sugar dissolves and let that cool. Or you can just go ahead and pour your baked beans over it and put them in the refrigerator until you get ready. I usually just make the fixings ahead of time, and then all I've got to do is pour the baked beans into it after I've sort of semi-drained them. Because I use one of those big cans. Not the big fat can, but the big skinny can. And I use, what kind? I either use Campbell's or, what is the other? Showboat. Any pork and bean will work. Any pork and bean will work. Then you just have to get it good and hot and bubbly. And a crock pot is a good way to do that without stirring up a lot of heat. That's baked beans. Oh, and I have a cabbage. I have this huge cabbage that Mr. Lyle brought me. And I'm going to make him, and us too, some stir-fried cabbage. So I take some bacon. And Robert got me some more bacon to do up my stir-fried cabbage. And I cut my cabbage. You just take a half a cabbage and slice it into 1-inch pieces, and then turn it and slice it into more 1-inch pieces. And you got 1-inch pieces. And you put it in your skillet or your Dutch oven or your big pan and cook it with some bacon and maybe a little garlic in there. Cut up an onion if you want to. And you just cook it on low. I never cook on high, y'all. Never cook on high. I set my timer every 15 minutes to stir things. And I try to cook one thing at a time. Right now, I just finished my squash casserole there in the refrigerator. My bacon is still in the crock pot cooking on high to get it good and crispy. And then I'll put together my baked beans. So it's fun. Now, I've not done ribs in a long time. I used to do them in my pressure cooker. Y'all got an Instapot. You can stand them up in your Instapot and put some water in there and pre-cook your ribs. So you're going to have fall off the bone ribs. And then put them on the grill with your barbecue sauce to dry up the barbecue sauce. And it is an amazing... They're good. Justin cooks them a lot. I haven't cooked any in years, but we got some in the freezer that need to be cooked. It need to be cooked. And I have had the baked beans where people have pre-soaked. This is weird. This is really weird. And it was really good though. You know, these mixed bean soup mixes you can get. All she had in her pantry was this mixed bean soup mix, a 2-pound pack of it. She put those in a pot and let them soak overnight and then made her baked beans out of those. And that was pretty good. I had that at a 4th of July party one time at Lake Lure. It was amazing. You make do with what you got, you know? And you can do some deviled eggs to go along with this, but I don't know that we're going to do that. But I'm going to boil some eggs for my potato salad. And we're going to have a great meal, and celebrate with our neighbors and just have fun. Might even shoot off a few fireworks, or maybe get our pistol out and do some target shooting. Nothing like hearing a pistol on the 4th of July. Yeah, let freedom ring, y'all. Let freedom ring. Christy McClure Burns. I got McClures in my grandmother. My great grandmother was a McClure. My Granny Pickard was a McClure. We could be kin. But that's what we're cooking. And I'm going to try to bake a few eggs. Let me tell you, Carrie, about the angeled eggs. They need to be room temperature. Room temperature. They have to be room temperature. I take them out of the refrigerator the night before, and if it's a styrofoam egg carton, I take them out of the egg carton and lay them out and let them get room temperature. Don't put them in the oven cold because they won't cook right. But you should try 3 or 4 before you ever do a whole bunch of them. But start with room temperature. That is a must. Anyway, folks, I'm cooking and having fun, setting my timer every 15 minutes, getting some work done at the same time. But I don't cook on high. I don't get in a hurry because I got all day. And we're not going to party till Sunday. Well, we might eat something. We might eat something tonight. But I got this wonderful squash casserole that I can cook up. Anyway, folks, y'all have some fun in the kitchen. My sink full of hot soapy water has been wonderful to help clean as I go. So my kitchen doesn't look like it blew up. Anyway, if I get back in the kitchen, I might do a short little video from there for YouTube. Y'all have some fun. Enjoy the process. Get you some stuff for some s'mores and build a fire if you're able to build a fire where you are. Recipe. I don't have recipes. Well, there's some recipes on Facebook. I have not Facebook on our FlyLady, FlyLady.net, and just do a search in the Google search bar for recipe section, and you'll find them. But the corn on the cob is the best ever. Because we don't have any corn that's really ready right now because it's not even knee high yet. Oh, the squash. So I had 2 grocery sacks full of squash. 2 grocery sacks full of squash. And so I cut the ends off and I put them in. I have a big steamer pot. It's really a colander for cooking pasta in, but I like to use it as a steamer, so I put about this much water in the bottom of it. And then I steam the squash with, so it was so much squash. The thing was full of squash, and I put 2 onions in it. And squash has got a lot of water in it. So I like to cook my squash. So I steam it not to add more water to it, but to get it done. And then I pour the water out of the pot and pour the squash back in the pan. Take my potato masher or my spatula and just chop it all up. And then I, on low, setting my timer every 15 minutes to get up and stir it, I cook the water out of it. So last night I cooked it for yesterday afternoon I cooked it for a couple hours, put it in the refrigerator. And then today I started cooking it over again and I got it to the right consistency. Oh my. I put some black pepper in it. Fresh ground black pepper, and just cooked it till the water's out of it. And I ate some of it because it's really good fresh squash. I mean, it's amazing fresh squash. And I hadn't had fresh squash in a couple years. So I cooked it down, and then I took it off the eye of the stove. I'm stirring it every 15 minutes so it won't stick. It won't brown. And I added 2 cans of cream of chicken. Oh, one thing I forgot. Grate up, really fine grated carrot in it. So you got little specks of orange. You've got the yellow. And so add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup and 1 8-ounce tub of sour cream. And stir. It's yellow squash. Yellow crookneck squash. Well, or straight neck squash. And you make this slurry of squash and cream of chicken soup. Don't dilute the soup. Put it in there just out of the can. And you put a layer of this down in your casserole dish. And you put a layer of, I like Robert brought home Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix, herb stuffing mix. So it's rather coarse. But he didn't get a big package of it because I didn't say get a big package. He got a little package. So I just used that for the top of the 2 casseroles. And then, but I put 3 layers. Between the layers, I had a bag of my homemade breadcrumbs. And I had put herbs in them so that I could have herbed breadcrumbs or panko. And it was in the freezer. So I put a layer of my herbed breadcrumbs, and it was from some homemade rolls that didn't look good. So I just put them in the food processor and made breadcrumbs out of them. And so I put a layer and then another layer of squash and another layer of breadcrumbs. And then the 3rd layer, I put the Pepperidge Farm stuff on top of it. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's one of my favorite dishes. One of my favorites. So folks, I used to cook barbecue chicken too. A lot of barbecue chicken on the grill for the 4th of July. We would do halves of chicken. Halves of chickens. And you put the cut side, the bony side down off to the side of the grill, and you want to coat it in some olive oil and some seasonings and stuff, and just let it coast on the sides of the fire. Not on the fire, just off the edge of the fire. The cat wants in here, y'all. And you cook it for 45 minutes and it'll get puffy, puffy, puffy. And then you can turn it over and cook it for another 45 minutes. And the juices will run clear, and you will have, and then you can flip it back over again and put some barbecue sauce on it. And Granddaddy LA used to make the best barbecue sauce. It was a mixture of Eastern North Carolina barbecue sauce and Western North Carolina barbecue sauce. But he was from West Tennessee. Reelfoot Lake. Anyway, y'all, I will see you later. I love you all. As Gemma would say, and then she'd stop and go again. Y'all have a great celebration. Get some cooking done today so you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen on Sunday. Love you. Be good, kind, and sweet. Good to yourself, kind to others, and let that joy that's inside of you just overflow your cup. Your cup runneth over when you got Jesus in your heart. See you later. Hey everybody, it's time to make your favorite pot roast. And I like to use a slow cooker for mine. I start with 3 pounds of a rump roast with some soy sauce and my very special secret ingredient, better than bouillon. I use 1 cup of flour, a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a dash, maybe a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I like a little hot to my stuff. Adds a little flavor. Put some olive oil or any kind of oil you like in a skillet. You need plenty of oil, so don't be afraid to use it. And you take your pot roast and you put it in that bag of flour and seal it up with a little air in it so you got a ball to toss around. And don't get too rigorous with this because you can bust a bag, but pat the flour onto the roast and put it in your medium-high skillet. Now we're going to brown every side of the roast. It doesn't have to be super brown, but it just needs to be brown to kind of sear in the juices. And also to make the gravy for your pot roast, because a pot roast is only as good as the gravy you make to put on it. That's the truth. Put your pot roast in the crock pot, and now we're going to start to make the gravy. Now, add some more oil if you need to, and we're going to take the flour that was in the bag, because that should be enough. You put a cup, and put that into the oil. Make sure you got some water handy, because we're going to use about 4 cups of it, and we're going to stir this flour around in the skillet to get it brown more. You might have to add a little more oil, but that's okay. Just keep stirring, and it'll get sizzly, and it'll start to change colors a little bit. Now, add a dollop of this better than bouillon and get it melted in there, stirring it around on medium-low heat. Just keep stirring till it gets incorporated. And here's the secret. Don't add too much water at one time. 1 cup at a time or even less. And do it on this medium low heat because we don't cook on high at FlyLady. So keep adding another cup until it gets incorporated. It'll get thicker and thicker, and just keep stirring, and it'll get smooth again, and it'll get. Now I'm gonna add some soy sauce because it needs a little salt to it. And it doesn't matter if you use plain flour or self-rising flour, but it's going to need a little salt, and the soy sauce adds that to it. So get it all smooth, and then we're going to add that to our slow cooker. Now, it can be thick, it can be thin. It doesn't matter because it's going to cook. The pot roast is going to cook in this liquid, and it is going to make your pot roast taste amazing. Now, you might want a taste of it. Just a little taste of it right now, just to make sure you like the flavor, because it might need a little more salt. Trust your taste buds. Now, wash a few potatoes. I like to keep the potato skins on because they stay together in the pot. If you take the potato skins, if you peel them, it makes for mushy stuff, and I don't like mushy. Now, and I forgot to slice up the onions to put in the gravy. I usually do it while it's in the skillet, so I'm just going to add it right here to the slow cooker. Just you can't make a mistake. That's just all it is. It's imperfect cooking at its best. So just add the onions. Onions give it great flavor. And it doesn't take long to add them. I just like to slice them right off in little slivers and throw them in there and then stir it all around. Just don't be afraid to make a mistake. Half of cooking is, messing up, and that's okay. We just keep sampling a little bit and get it the way we like it. Sometimes I holler at Robert to come in the kitchen and, I need your taste buds, honey, and he comes in and tells me what I need to do. Or he'll add something to it. We play a little game like that. So it's always fun to be in the kitchen. We have a kitchen that is more than a one-butt kitchen. And we can both be in there at the same time. This pot roast is going to make your house smell wonderful. It's just going to be amazing. And getting dinner in the crock pot ready to go frees you up this afternoon to kind of, if you want to take a nap, whatever you want to do. So stir those onions into the gravy. Add those potatoes to it. And your crock pot's going to be good and full. I have a 7-quart crock pot. Scrub your carrots. I don't even like to peel the carrots because they have a really thin skin on them, but scrub them with a little scouring pad. Cut the ends off and start poking those into the gravy. And before you know it, in 4 hours on high and 8 hours on low, you're going to have a pot roast. And be sure and look up my biscuit recipe and make some biscuits to go along with this, because you're going to want to put some gravy over those biscuits. You're going to like this recipe. Yum. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. We got lots to do today. We got lots of questions. We got 12 of them. And they are good questions. Stump FlyLady Day. Yeah, let's try it. We've had a great testimonial this morning about our marathon, and I've sent it out in a message. And don't be watching the marathon right now. Jump into our FlyLady questions. I've had conversation with a person, with Linda from Italy. She and her team of people transcribe our messages for Italian fly babies, because I don't speak Italian and I don't write Italian, but they do it because they love our messages. They love how we do things, and they are ready to help others. So getting the messages out there and doing their part to help everybody is a wonderful thing. It's just a wonderful thing, because when we have peace in our homes, everything runs smoother. It just really does. So get on in here. Let's see. Today we're in zone 1, which is our front porch, our dining room, and the entrance of our home. And I know you've got shoes everywhere. You don't allow your kids to wear the shoes in the house. And you got a big mess at that front door. And it's time to clean that mess up and do what we need to do. Our holiday missions start in 2 weeks. That was what my question from Italy was from today. When do we start our holiday missions? And she's going to be, Linda's going to be transcribing those into Italian. And Robert was telling me that there's a volcano in Italy that's getting ready to show up and show out, and that's not going to be fun for anybody. But let me get the chat up. We had TG in here yesterday. Yeah, dining rooms can be Achilles heels, but we can stop that, and we can stop that right now. We can stop putting things on the table. Tahlequah. That's Cherokee. Yep. Okay, folks. Let's get started. Announcements. We got a coupon code is Stay Ready. Yep, Stay Ready. We've been talking about being ready all year long. Get your calendars ordered. Yeah, get your calendars ordered. While we've got this coupon code that saves you 40%. We're discussing paper clutter. This is our paper clutter month, and we've been doing some missions about paper clutter. But the main thing is only handle it once. When you get in the habit of doing this, it is going to blow you away. Because when you only handle it once, your life becomes much easier because you've stopped procrastinating. You deal with it when you get it in your hot little hand. So we've got all our rags are on sale. Our gray rags, our purple rags, our blue our pale blue rags. They're all on sale. I don't have my blue rag in front